Hello guys, welcome to a tutorial video from Edenite's Fashion Academy. Today we'll be understanding how to read a tape, that's understanding a tape measurement. So for the purpose of this video, we are going to use our tape. This is our measuring tape that we use to take our measurements when we want to make a cloth. And then to make this more elaborate, I'm going to be making use of this piece of paper, then my ruler and my pen, just to make it more clear and understandable. So this is usually the first step. Before you start sewing, you have to know how to take your measurements or how to read your tape before you take your measurements. We're also going to learn how to take our measurements and how to make our calculations. Firstly, we are going to understand how we read our tape. So our tape comes in inches. Usually it comes like this. You might have something different, but for the purpose of this video, I'm using this tape that measures 60 inch. As you can see, it's written over here. So this is from an inch to an inch is 1 inch, so that's why it's numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So now we are going to learn how to take our readings. Let's say we are taking a measurement and then a measurement falls in between here. Okay, let me use this. And the measurement falls in between here, or probably somewhere close by. We're going to learn how to read this tape and then how to get a proper value, because you don't just say, oh, this is 2.5 inches, this is 3.5 inches. Although that is it, but what if it falls in between here? What if it falls here? What do you call it? So let's get right into the video. So I'm going to draw. Let me get this off the way so that it doesn't obstruct. Okay, so I'm going to draw a replica of this tape onto this paper so that as I'm going through it, you're going to understand better. Okay, so I hope my sketches are clear enough. I don't know if I can make them bolder. So this is what a typical tape line looks like. As you can see, I just replicated what we have here. This iron is covering here, so let's make use of this 1 to 2. So this is exactly what we have here, with this being the 1 inch and then here being the second one. Okay, this is not up to. So in between 1 inch and another inch, there are usually 7 other mini lines in between them. As you can count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are always 7 lines in between. Let's also count one on our tape. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But then when counting, we count from the first one, but then we don't count the last inch, because this other inch is the beginning of another inch. I don't know if it makes sense. So we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That makes up the components of 1 inch. Then this one, being the second one, that's these two, starts the count of another one up until the third one. So we can say that, oh, in an inch we have like 8. We can say it's a 1/8 something. I don't know if that makes sense. Okay, so since it's 1/8, this is how we number our tape. The first one is 1/8. The second one is 1/4. Then the third one is 3/8. The fourth one sorry, I made a mistake in labeling. This is 1, like we said earlier, not 1/8. Then the second one is 1/8. The third one is 1/4. Then we have 3/8. Then we have 1/2. 5/8. 3/4. 7/8. And then this is 2. This is 1. So using our tape now, like we said, this is 1. We have 1/8. We have 1/4. We have 3/8. Then we have 1/2, which is the midpoint. That's the half. You can say 1.5, obviously, because 1/2 is 0.5. So this is the midpoint. Then we have 5/8, 3/4, and then 7/8. Then the next inch. So in cloth making, or when you want to apply this to clothes, you don't count it 1/8. You convert it to the decimal fraction of it. That's the decimal point. So if you use your calculator to make these calculations and then convert it to decimal, this is still 1, as said earlier. Then our 1/8 becomes 0.125. 3/8 becomes 0.1. We have 1/8. We have 1/4. Sorry, we have 1/8. We have 1/4. Yeah, 1/4 becomes 0.25. 3/8. 3/8 is 0.375. Then our 1/2 is 0.5. 5/8, 0.625. 3/4, 0.75. 7/8, 0.875. So in case my writing is not clear enough, I'm going to write it out again. This is 1/8, 1/4, 3/8, half, 5/8, 3/4, and 7/8. So these are the basic, let me bring it closer to the camera. These are the basic calculations we use while taking our cloth measurement. This is how we read our tape. This is the translation of the tape, or how to get the values of the tape. So we said earlier that an inch is made up of 8 values. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Counting another inch from 2, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this is how we get our calculations. So whatever cloth measurements you are making is under this. So let's assume now that you measured a bust area or a shoulder area, and then you got your measurement stopped here or somewhere here, not directly at the 0.5. So we can say this is a 1 point stop. Let's say assuming it stopped here. This is our 1/8. So we can say our measurement is a 1.125. That's what we got. And when transferring the measurement to the clothes, that is what we are going to use to measure out our clothes. So the second part of this video is going to be the tape conversion. So this tape conversion occurs when we get a value that doesn't really correspond to these values we have here. This is the basic values used to cut out your pattern or your fabric. These are the basic values. So let's say we get a value after our calculations, we get a value that doesn't really correspond to these values. We move it to the nearest, not in this case, it's not the nearest decimal point. We don't say you move it to the nearest decimal point. You move it to the nearest value, to the nearest corresponding value, not the one above it, to the nearest corresponding value. Let's say, for instance, you get a measurement, and then, like we said earlier, we don't use the fraction part, we make use of the decimal part. That's why we have to convert them to decimal. So let's say in a case where we get a value of, let's say we have we finished taking our measurements, and then we have, let's say for the chest area, we got a value of 7.33, right? As we can see now, there's no place that it corresponds to 7.33. So what's the closest value to 7.33? We have 0.25 and we have 0.375. We can't take 0.375 because of what? Because it's higher. So the nearest corresponding value to this 7.33 is 7.25. So that is what we are going to use. So when we are taking our measurement in the tape, because there's no way that you can get your there's no way you can get your 7.33 on the tape, and using 7.35 is way above. So the nearest decimal to it is this 0.25. So what does that mean? We are going to make use of our 0.25. So instead of 7.33, we are going to be, this is 7. We are going to take, this is our 0.125 and this is our 0.25. So that means in a place where we get a value of 7.33, we are going to make use of 7.25. Okay, let's use another value. Let's say we get a value of 9.16. Okay, does that make sense? 9.16. Remember I said earlier that you don't approximate to a value above. Instead of that, you approximate to a value lower than what you have, if that makes sense. So 0.16, now what's the closest value? We have 0.25, which is above, and then we have 0.125, which is below. 0.125 on a normal calculation, you round down, that's making it 0.16. So what does that tell you? It automatically tells you that this becomes 9.125. So does that make sense? And you can, any value you can think of, just make sure that when you're rounding up, you don't make it above these values. It should always be closer to the value or lesser than the value. Okay, so for the next part of this video, I'm going to be showing you how you take your measurements. And this measurement comes in three. That's your body measurement. It comes in three versions. They have the measurement by length, they have the measurement by width, and then we have the measurement by depth. So the measurement by length are those measurements that you take vertically. You have any measurement that runs vertically, that doesn't have to go around, where the tape doesn't have to go around your body. That's the measurement by length. So we can have the shoulder to bust, we can have the shoulder to waist, because when taking those measurements, your tape runs vertically. I'm going to show you a sample. So your tape runs vertically like this. You place your tape like this in a vertical position when taking the measurements. So you take, for instance, you take shoulder to bust, you take shoulder to waist, shoulder to hip, and so on and so forth. Then when it comes to measurement by width, is when your tape goes round the individual. That case where you have to hold your tape like this to take your measurement. That's the measurement by width. And this can be, you have the shoulder to shoulder, because the tape has to go round. You have the waist point, that's taking the measurement of your waist, or your hip point, that's taking the measurement of your hip. So that's where we make use of the measurement by width. Then we have the last one, which is the measurement by depth. This is where you measure the length where you want something to get to. I don't know if that makes sense. Okay, let me give an instance. If you want to, let's say you have a cloth you want to cut out, and then it has a V-neck shape. That's the neckline of the cloth has a V-neck. So that's where you get measurement by depth. You check the depth of where the measurement will stop, or how down it will go. Does that make sense? Yeah, so that's where we get the measurement by depth. I'm going to show you a practical example. It's a life mannequin. Thank you. So for the measurement by length, there are different types of measurements. They have the shoulder to bust, shoulder to under bust, shoulder to waist, waist to hip, waist to knee, just any vertical measurement. So I'm going to show you how you take some of those measurements. So the shoulder to bust is usually something like this. So you can see it's a vertical measurement. Then you have the shoulder to waist. If you are confused about the waist point of someone, you can either tell the person to bend one side. So wherever the bending starts from, then that's usually the person's waist. So that's the shoulder to waist. You can have the shoulder to the hip. And the hip, to get a proper hip measurement, you can place the tape and then allow the tape to relax on the person's body. And then wherever it starts hanging out from, that's usually the hip point. Then you can have the shoulder to knee, and then so on and so forth. Stop showing. Then for the measurement by width, like I said earlier, it's usually a round measurement. So you can have the shoulder measurement, the bust, the waist, the hip, the wrist, and the rest. So I'm going to show you how you take some of those measurements. For instance, you want to take a shoulder measurement, you put your tape across at the back like this, or you can take a shoulder round like this. The same thing if you want to take a waist measurement, just go go round. Whenever you're taking a round measurement, in order to ensure accurate measurement, always ensure you put 2 fingers in between to hold the tape very well. And this is a waist measurement. This is a hip measurement. And then you can get a wrist measurement. Something like this. Then for the measurement by depth, like I said earlier, for instance now, this is a round neck. So if you're getting this measurement, you see the depth of the neck. If you want this neck to go down, something like this. So this is the measurement by depth. So that is it for your tape measurement and your tape conversion. So that's basically it, and I've shown you a sample of how to take measurements. So thank you for watching this video. So do well to like, subscribe, and drop your comments. And if you have any questions or any confusion, you can drop it in the comment section and then we'll get back to you. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for liking this video, and thank you for commenting. Bye. See you guys next time.